Joker, Batman, Harvey Dent, they all seek fairness. However, they each have different conclusions about fairness and ways to realize it. Due to such differences, they are divided into good and evil even though they equally pursue fairness. The Joker's sense of fairness is based on human selfishness. From the scene in which the Joker has his associates kill each other during a bank robbery to the scene in which he gives two boats carrying criminals and citizens a remote control to blow each other up, each ostensibly provides an equal opportunity for survival. Because Joker believes that only selfishness for survival exists in humans and society. He believes that all order created in the world in the name of fairness is hypocrisy and a deception by the powerful. To Joker, Batman is also included as a hypocrite. On the contrary, the fairness that Batman believes in is a judicial order established by social consensus. His belief is that Gotham City can become a fair world if the law is enforced fairly. However, the problem is that the public power that enforces the judicial order is corrupt, and he is trying to create a fair and peaceful world by correcting the corrupt judicial order through his own efforts. Gotham City's crime rate was lowered and the world was becoming more just thanks to Batman's activities. However, Joker saw the fundamental contradiction in Batman's activities. In order to correct the corrupt public power, Batman did not come up with a solution to the public power itself, but ultimately violated democratic procedures and the obligation to comply with the law, and beat, assaulted, and kidnapped criminal suspects. The world may be stable for now, but since the fundamentals cannot be changed, a peaceful world is bound to be temporary. Batman's actions to instill hope that he can fight against crime and evil have degenerated into a distorted sense of values in citizens, that they respond to evil with violence. And as a result, fake Batmans who fight crime through crime like him appear. Harvey Dent appears in front of Bruce Wayne, who knows that his own way will not bring fundamental peace to Gotham City and punishes evil with just execution of justice. Batman is a nighttime vigilant who protects Gotham City while hiding his identity. But Harvey Dent is a white knight who has the right to judge evil that Batman does not have, and is also a kind of homage to Batman. Heath Ledger's acting skills as the Joker were so outstanding that all the focus was on the Joker. So the symmetry between Batman and Harvey Dent was not highlighted. But from the beginning until the appearance of the Joker, all of Batman's interests were in Harvey Dent. From Harvey Dent's point of view, Batman is the hope that makes it possible to punish villains, and ultimately, it is the value that he must protect. This is evident in the scene where he opposes Batman turning himself in, and ultimately turns himself in instead, because Harvey Dent himself wanted revenge on Batman for evil beyond his power. The relationship between Batman and Harvey Dent was a coexistence relationship, in which they filled in each other's shortcomings or absences. However, Rachel was always caught between the two, and as Alfred pointed out, Harvey Dent was not the only reason why Batman was obsessed with him from the beginning. Rachel is captured on the camera where Batman inspects Dent, and Batman also appears at the restaurant where Dent and Rachel date. The idea of entrusting the peace of Gotham City to a true Knight of Light was certainly a great cause, but in fact, part of that great cause may have been mixed with some lingering affection for Rachel and jealousy toward Harvey Dent. Batman, the defender of justice, is ultimately human. These are the limitations of being human. Joker also confirms Batman's limitations. Joker, convinced of his feelings of love for Rachel, forces Batman to make a choice between Harvey Dent and Rachel's survival. In the end, Batman chooses Gotham City's new hope. Harvey Dent, and Rachel dies as a result. In the end, the two men who dreamed of social justice and looked in the same direction are dramatically replaced by Rachel's death, and their symmetry is greatly revealed. Both believe that Rachel chose them and are tormented by her death. But Batman sympathizes with Harvey Dent's grief and sublimates. his own grief to become a true hero. On the other hand, Harvey Dent, driven mad by grief, eventually becomes a monster who takes his madness out on everyone. The two heroes on the same line have stark opposites and express a clear confrontational relationship. In fact, the conflict between good and evil revealed in this film seems to be boiled down to Batman and the Joker. But this is because Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker was so outstanding that it dominated the entire film. However, the message about good and evil becomes more prominent in the relationship between the White Knight, who is the opposite of the Dark Knight. The Joker, who represents absolute evil or chaos and disorder, is merely the catalyst for all conflicts, including the conflict between Batman and the citizens of Gotham, the conflict between Rachel and Harvey Dent within Batman, the conflict between citizens in the hospital incident, and the conflict between ship passengers. However, they were concentrated and expressed as one character, and the visuals were also strong, leaving a strong impression in our minds. However, it is not wrong to look at the conflict between Batman and Joker as the main conflict between good and evil, and to see Harvey Dent as a manifestation of their struggle. It's not about right and wrong, but about doubt and interpretation of goodness itself. Before becoming Two-Face, Harvey Dent was a perfectly good and truly just person. He always represents himself with a coin whose front and back are the same so as not to lose his goodness. Moreover, he is a person who would willingly sacrifice his own body for the sake of Gotham City's peace. Batman evaluated Harvey Dent as the true hero of Gotham City, who would replace him in the future. Certainly, if the shadowy Batman is the Dark Knight, then Harvey Dent is truly the White Knight, untainted by darkness and justified in all his actions. The Joker also tells Batman of Harvey Dent's corruption.
Took Gotham's White Knight, and I brought him down to our level.
However, Harvey Dent loses his most precious lover Rachel due to the Joker's scheme, and the skin on the left side of his face is completely blown off, and he suffers burns to the extent that his bones and muscles are visible. At this time, one side of the coin, which had both sides the same, is charred black, creating a front and back. This is the biggest difference between Harvey Dent and Two-Face. Harvey Dent was the image of an ideal society that, although it had an inherent duality, suppressed it appropriately through reason and morality. However, after losing Rachel to the Joker, his reason and morals collapse, and he eventually enters the path of corruption. The coin does not symbolize his good or evil personality, but probability, and he himself said,
"It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time. You were wrong. The world is cruel, and the only morality in a cruel world is chance. Unbiased, unprejudiced, fair."
Harvey Dent becomes corrupted, abandons the justice he so desperately wanted to protect, and becomes the embodiment of revenge, but ultimately falls to his death due to Batman. Batman took upon himself all of Harvey Dent's sins in order to keep his corruption a secret, and in the end, Harvey Dent was remembered by people not as the villain Two-Face, but as Gotham City's hero and shining knight. This is a part that clearly demonstrates what Harvey Dent said at the beginning of the movie.
Okay, fine. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Gotham City needs a good hero is the reason why Batman overturns Two-Face's sins. If the evil deeds that Harvey Dent committed after his corruption were announced as is, the citizens of Gotham would know that the most just and courageous being in Gotham City was eventually corrupted by the Joker and became a villain, effectively the Joker's victory. If that happens, Gotham City was engulfed in a sense of defeat and confusion. And Batman, who decided that he could no longer be rehabilitated, took on the stigma of himself. This is also the part where Batman, through his sacrifice, is reborn as a defender of Gotham, rather than a vigilant who simply catches criminals. Since Batman is the dark hero, I would say it is the most Batman-like ending that can be achieved. Why does Batman see him as good and Joker sees him as evil? Batman seems to basically think that humans are inherently good. He never gives up hope for humanity and fights crime to protect ordinary people. On the other hand, Joker seems to think that humans are inherently evil. He believes that even civilized people return to a state of barbarism when disorder and chaos arise. The reason the Joker kidnapped Harvey Dent and eventually turned him into Two-Face was to destroy Batman's belief that humans are good, and given that Harvey Dent eventually transformed into the villain Two-Face, the Joker may have been right. What do you think about Harvey Dent? Is he a good person or a bad person?